push the right button, that's for sure. That's Rick Braun. I'm a big time jazz and pop jazz and jazz fusion kind of cat. So I dig the cool sounds of the cool jazz. That's Danny Rio right over there. Do you guys know Danny Rio? He's awesome. He went climbing. He's been climbing. He does this rappelling thing with a rope. Is that with a rope?
Yeah.
Going up and down on the rocks and stuff. That's Lisa Lee. You know Lisa Lee? You guys know Lisa Lee? Oh, see? Remind me.
Oh. Read that text.
Yep, I will. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. I told Danny to remind me to read something. Michelle Roll wanted to be, she was kind of planning on being here today, and then she got a bunch of listings that or some showings that she needs to take care of. So she's going to do that. But I am going to read this to you because you guys that came out to see Michelle and Patty's show on Friday night, she said, I said, we're going to miss you this morning. And she said, I'll miss you too. Wanted to thank everyone who came out to the show. Can you thank them for me? And then she says she needs an escrow soon, so please keep her in your prayers for that. Then she said, it meant so much to me that so many churchies, she calls you guys churchies came out. Love them all ever so, with about a dozen little heart emojis after that. So, Michelle Roll, we love you and lifting you up, and get an escrow soon and all that kind of stuff. But she wanted me to let you guys know that she's so appreciative that you came out to her show on Friday night. And that was a lot of fun. Did you guys enjoy that? You guys have some fun with Patty and Michelle and the band? Awesome band. How many ways is your good coming to you? How many ways? 10? 20? Countless. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. At least 100, according to Richard McDeesey and our friend David Roth, who would love to get into concert here. That would be an awesome thing. All right, Danny Rio, you ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. You guys can stand. You might like move around, get a little dance on. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways my good is coming to me. 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways.
expressions on each face today, and I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dawn, stay right here with us, filling us with your love. And for these blessings, we lift our hearts in praise. Without a doubt, we'll know we have been revived when we shall leave this place. And so, good morning, beautiful, sweet spirits. I invite you to take a deep breath and exhale and just allow yourself to be fully here, fully now. Experience these chairs just fully supporting you. And I invite you with each breath to bring attention to this breath as a living elixir from the universe. Just allowing this breath to saturate and nurture every cell in your body. Allowing the breath to relax, soften, and replenish your mind and your spirit. Centering you in the here and now. With each exhale, give the gift of your beingness back into the universe. And sense the universe fully welcoming you, every part of you, your body, your mind, your spirit, your humanity, your divinity. Feel the gratitude flowing to you from the universe for the beauty of this natural exchange. Breathe inside of this mutual gifting, this mutual welcoming. Notice the radiant energy of this mutual exchange. Like an overflowing cup, allow this welcome to embrace our planet, saturating, nurturing, healing her physical body, loving her soul, allowing it to build in you and pour forth from you as you bring your attention to all those who are around you. Allow this foundational welcome to embrace this one that is next to you, and this other one that is next to you, and next. Extend this embrace to those who are here virtually, and to those who will watch this recording later. We are all here knowing and breathing inside of the infilling of love that is already present in every part of our service today, in every prayer, in every song, in every word, all embraced in this cosmic welcome. Take another deep breath in, and when you are ready, open your eyes. So good morning, beloveds. Good morning. I'm so delighted that you're here. I'm so delighted that I'm here. I'm already experiencing the magic of our togetherness. Part of that is because I was telling Caden earlier, I've had a cup of coffee and a cup of matcha today, so fully caffeinated and ready to go. So I would like to begin by welcoming our beautiful online community, our friends and our guests who are there, and letting you know that we feel you, we know that you're here, and we're so delighted that you have given us the gift of your presence, and we already feel your energy creating the magic that we are going to be creating together today. So thank you so much for being here. Next, I would like to welcome anyone that may be here for the very first time. So if this is you, I invite you to stand, and we're not going to ask you to say anything, but we have several gifts. Yay! And so the first gift Marcia is bringing you, which is a packet of information which tells you a little bit about Unity and as a whole, and then also about us at Unity Las Vegas and all the ways that we have been sharing love on the planet. And so the second gift we have for you is an energetic blessing. And so for this, we just invite you just to open your heart and to receive. I invite our community to rub your hands together and to repeat after me. We see who you are.
We see who you are.
You are a magnificent divine creation.
You are a magnificent divine creation.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle.
Indispensable to the universe.
Indispensable to the universe.
We love you.
We love you.
We bless you.
We bless you.
And we celebrate the light that you are.
And we celebrate the light that you are.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. Next, I would like to invite our in-house saga to stand and to run around the room wildly, greeting each other because we are all friends here.
We are all friends. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door.
Fantastic.
Yay!
Fantastic.
Good to see you.
It's good to be here,
Good
Joan.
to have you here, man.
As we come back to your seats, I'm going to start what we call the thank yous and the invitations. My name is Don Fouts. This thank you goes out to the Board of Trustees. And the reason is, at the beginning of the year, we start to plan our annual meeting, our business meeting, which you are all invited to. And today we're going to have Joan, our current president, come up and give you an invitation and be joined with our past president, who is Ira the Great. And so we're celebrating a number of things. Well, let's begin this segment with saying together our identity and our purpose statement. Our identity: we are family for each other, welcoming, nourishing, and awakening one another at depth. And wow, that's quite a statement.
It is.
And this: birthing the new human as the face of evolving love on the planet, and boy, don't we need that. So we have an invitation for you to fill out a prayer request. This is something that we do on a regular basis. Unity is a movement founded in the healing prayer of Myrtle Fillmore, and it has remained a movement based on prayer. And I'm planting a seed here. In the next few weeks, we're going to make a bigger deal of the prayer requests. and do a short celebration of the prayer request as part of the service. So look for that to happen. But for now, fill out your prayer requests and our prayer team will attend to those during the week, and then we'll send those off to Silent Unity. We have ongoing weekly events. The first one we'd like to bring your attention to is a Life Reflection Cafe. This is a live small group that meets on Mondays right here, and it's a very successful group in that the people that are attending are getting fed. And that's held by Jamie Jett, and we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we can never say enough about our A Course in Miracles group. I really think this is the most profound group in the country. And for my share, for those attending the course and following the lessons, we are at a beginner's stage of creating new pathways in the brain where we loosen our programming and allow for Holy Spirit to download new potentials that enables us to become miracle-minded. And it's working, isn't it? I can see those heads nodding. Okay, so this is on Thursdays. They do a social at Starbucks between 4 and 5, and it's live at 6. It's also on Zoom. To get the Zoom registration, go to our website, if that's your choice, but the group is having a phenomenal time. Okay, and another ongoing event is our midweek inspiration. This is Wednesdays. This is Zoom only, and our focus is primarily the inspiration of the Sunday lesson and how that is manifesting or triggering or whatever it is the attendees would like to bring to that inspired session. Again, it's at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, and you can get the Zoom link by registering online if you don't already have it. And our next ongoing event has a change in the schedule. It's usually the second Friday of each month. This week, or this month in February, it is going to be on the first Friday, and that is the 7th. So do bring your poetry, bring your guitar, bring your listening and your open heart for a good time on Friday the 7th, 7 to 9, live here for the opening mic listening room. And the reason they are preempted for the second Friday is Friday the 14th is prom night, 70s disco. So, all right. I've been to prom. I've been to some weddings, but I haven't been to a prom in a while. So it sounds like a lot of fun. And music, dancing, food. You need to RSVP. The reason is there's a caterer, and they need to get a rough number of how many people are going to be here. So RSVP by the 7th. There's a phone number there. And I think you can also do that on CSL's website. Okay, so we have a couple, as I said, those board members are coming up, Ira and Joan. And there's music. Ta-da, ta-da.
Thank you, Dawn. And as Dawn had mentioned, after Valentine's Day, we're actually having our service on the 16th, and after the service, following immediately, will be our annual meeting. As Dawn had mentioned, we are inviting everyone to participate and see how we operate the actual board and also the business of the church. If there's any voting things to do, then of course non-members will not be able to vote, but we would love for you to listen and learn. Also give us any feedback on what is happening with the church and also our journey for 2025 where we want to see ourselves. So please come, mark that date, save the date, and we hope that you can come.
Hi, and that leads into me. In our bylaws, we have if you are already a member,
you need to opt in every year, and the CSL does the same process. It's pretty much, you want people to want to be here. You don't want to have a mailing list, you don't want to have a membership list of 1,040 coming to service. So, the people that are active now, welcome to be members. And there will be a new membership class after service, right after service with Lisa, in that room where we have the Course in Miracles, so it'll be another miracle in there. And let's see, there will be, if you are not a member, an official member, there is a form to fill out, and then the board votes you in, and it's a one-year membership, and we will have forms in there for people that are interested, and you can fill it out anytime. We'll have our last board meeting about 12 or something.
11th.
It's 11th. So yeah. So if you want to vote in the meeting, then yeah. So and at the meeting we'll have like an update on finances. It was a successful pledge drive, and we had a good December. A lot of good stuff happening. You will see some changes in the service coming up, so more to be revealed. And I have the form for the existing members just to check off your name. And I already sent a round to anybody that's a member that didn't sign it. They actually already got an email from Unity, and I'll probably I send it to 32 people. We'll send it again, and we'll send it again. But it's easier just to do it here. And for people that, we have pledge forms for people that missed, and there's at least a couple that, have missed that day. Okay, thank you.
And that is why. That is why is Ira the Great. And one more thing, we do have a men's group here. We meet on the first and the third Sundays. And so next week we'll be meeting at 10:45 before service. And we would love to have any of you men come. And the men of Transformation Station are going to bring us some more music.
Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3.
Choice for today's, not only the daily word, but Lisa's lesson. And this special reading starts as Divine Alchemy. And I am a living vessel of divine alchemy, awakening the mind's attention from the lethargy of custom and directing it to the loveliness and the wonders of the world beyond us. It is an inexhaustible treasure, yet with the film of familiarity, we have eyes yet not see, ears that hear not, and hearts that neither feel nor understand, says Samuel Coleridge. And Lisa says, alchemy is the sacred art of individual and collective transformation, the divine marriage between the luminous insights of leading edge consciousness and the grounded heart of ancient wisdom. Alchemy itself has a shape-shifting magical quality to it, but perhaps the real magic is not in discovering how to turn lead into gold, but in the total shift in perception it invites, making the familiar unfamiliar again, and seeing the world's newly, softening the boundaries of separation between one form and another, between inner and outer, past, present, and future, and creating new portals of love in the world. This is embodied realization. Through the wisdom of intentional creation, we harness the power of higher vibrations, drawing to us the manifestations that echo our soul's deepest yearnings, and offering us lives that sing the song of spirit. Today I make myself available for the universe to use in an unprecedented manner, totally in service to the many ways love alchemizes spirit in the third dimension. I have to laugh because some of these sentences can really draw you in. So let's read that part again. Totally in service to the many ways love alchemizes spirit in the third dimension. I recognize the limitations in the way I am currently seeing the world, however lovely. I allow the universe to remove the film of familiarity from my mind's eye, that I may see the face of the divine and hear the voice of the divine newly, as love becomes more and more visible to each and every one of us. And the affirmation, I am a living vessel of divine alchemy. And so it is.
Yeah, right on. I'm going to applaud for that, because how many people wake up in the morning and say, I wonder how I could use the word alchemizes in a sentence today? John, you did that perfectly.
Thank you, John.
Show So here we are, beloveds, in our new series. Before I get into that, I just wanted to reiterate that we are having a new member class immediately following the service today, which I'm always very excited about, to share what we are doing here, because I think what we're up to here at Unity Las Vegas is awesome. It is truly amazing. Let's give ourselves a hand for all of that. We always feel so blessed to be part of us, and so we have an opportunity to share that with others and to welcome others into our community. And I always like to see how, I always look at it like an overflowing cup of love, like our overflowing cup moves on to others and invites them into what we're doing. So we invite you to be part of this. We're very excited about that. And so that'll be just for an hour after service. And so now we are in this new series called The Creation, which is a metaphysical approach to the first 6 days of creation, which is absolutely an amazing and wonderful thing to really be a part of, to really take a look at it at that level of depth. Because when you look at that level of depth in terms of metaphysics, you become the creator, you become the creation itself. And it shows you how you can be at what we call the level of cause in your own life, as opposed to being at the level of effect. And I was just hearing from a friend of mine today, we were talking about this, and we were saying that there are two kinds of people. There are thermometer people, and there are thermostat people. And so thermometer people, are the ones basically that, wait to see what the temperature is, what is happening in their life, and they react to that. If it looks like things on the outside are going favorably, then they feel good. If it doesn't look that way, then they do not. But thermostat people are the ones that set that temperature. It means they live at cause. So they are the ones that beforehand, they bring what we have talked about before, being that first cause of love in the world. And bringing that forward into the world is what transforms you as a person, but also transforms the entire planet as well. So this is really the heart of what we're talking about with the creation story. So we started out the first week, I called it day 0. Because very often when we think of day 1, we think of let there be light, right? But the most important thing in creation is that willing to be in the dark. To be in that creative primordial juice that really is what is the mother of the light. That is what everything comes out of, and we call that the dazzling darkness. And so the next week, we talked about creation story day 1, which is bringers of the dawn. And that is when the light begins to shine for the first time, and metaphysically the light represents a divine idea. So out of really nurturing that rich soil of the darkness or of the mystery comes forth a divine idea that wants to be birthed in the world. And so we looked at the light in different ways, because very often we think about it intellectually, but we really want to have a full-bodied experience, a fully empowered type of experience with the divine light. And so we looked at it through the eyes of A.H. Almas in Facets of Unity, and discovered that light in the head through the mind, what he calls this living daylight, is experienced as light consciousness. And so we allow our minds to really be filled with this light consciousness, divine idea. And we had an affirmation that says, I'm an author of the impossible, which, as you know, is one of my favorites. Because very often the smaller mind will look at a divine idea and say, there's no way. There's no way that this can possibly manifest in the earth. But the divine idea has its own life. It has its own birth force that is there. And if we learn to align with that, we have that experience that we can actually author the impossible on the planet. So the next thing, we looked at light in terms of how light looks in the heart. And so through the heart, living daylight is experienced as universal, boundless love. That is unconditional love that is rooted in a consciousness of connectivity with all beings on the planet. And we had an affirmation for that of my heart beats as the heart of the many. And so then we looked at light in the belly, in the gut center, which Alma says living daylight is experienced there as a deep knowingness. That is where our intuition is there. A felt sense of truth that really needs no external validation. And so our affirmation for that is, I am a vortex of universal truth. And so we're invited to really be in these three centers of light consciousness, of really feeling that deep, boundless love, and of feeling that intuition that really can stand on its own, that is self-sufficient. That is the totality of what it is to really fully embody a divine idea that is birthing itself. And so, next we're going to move on to day 2, which is today. It's called the Divine Canopy, how light takes form. So the second day of creation is the creation of the firmament, or the dome. And so each week we're going to be adding on to the Bible story a little bit. And so I'm going to read from the Bible where we are so far. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. And God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." So God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. God called the dome sky, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. And so in embracing this fully, we have to really see that the Bible is an absolute incredible creation, isn't it? Yes. And I remember when I was first studying the Bible as a child, and someone told me, the Bible is a love letter from God. Have you ever heard that? And so if you really look at it, actually there are many small love letters that are within the Bible. So it's really a collection of a variety of love letters. And I really like that particular analogy, because in order to really understand a love letter, you really need to know about the person that wrote it. And I don't know if you've ever received an anonymous love letter. I mean, those are always fun, of course. But to understand the person and the heart and the mind and the soul of who it is that is actually authoring this letter to you makes a really big difference. And that's the reason that we really embrace many different approaches for really looking at the Bible. And one of them is the metaphysical approach, which is our focus here in Unity, but also looking at it from a historical approach. And where the authors of the Bible actually came, where were they coming from when they wrote what they wrote? And so primarily at this particular time, I mean, you know, many years ago, this is done through oral tradition. It wasn't written down right away. So you can imagine the beauty of being able to share these stories over and over again historically through the generations, through the oral tradition. And so there are a couple of things I wanted to point out, you know, as we look at certain words in the Bible, particularly Genesis. And the first one is Elohim, which is the word for God by this particular author that is writing here. In early Semitic thought, there was no separation between the creator, the word, and the action. So all of these were considered one thing. So in fact, an individual's utterance represented him and his energy. So if you were back then and you said something, you know, this was a representation of you as a person, your beingness and your energy. And this is represented in the book of John, first chapter and first verse, that says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was always that Word." So I like that little spin on it. This particular author that I'm following now, you know, really looks at the Aramaic and the Hebrew to see what is really being said there. And so that's an idea, you know, as we are reading this, to really take that on and to live into that as we are reading this story, to see that there is no separation between the Creator, there's no separation from each of these elements that are being created, which is, there's more and more, of course, distinctions between things, and that's part of the creation process. But there is not a lack of connectivity, there's not a lack of oneness. And that's really important in terms of when we create, because there's a tendency to think that there's a separation between what we want and us. And so part of this invitation is to really step into really imagining what that's like, to have that continuation, that what is alive in the invisible also is connected to the visible, and that all we need to do really is to tune into that. The next one is the word good. You may have noticed as you read this particular book that God often says, "And it was good." And the author is saying here that actually the word for good is another word, and the word that's actually used here is shapira, which actually means beautiful. And I really like that because what they're showing in using that word beautiful is this is outside of that whole realm of good, bad, right, wrong. You know, it takes us, you know, out of that place. And so it gives us this idea of God really being with the total beauty of everything that was being created. And in fact, that's mentioned 10 times through the whole story. And so the particular author is saying, "And God saw that what he had made and beheld was very beautiful." That was at the end of the 6th day. So just imagine that, taking it out of the moralistic standpoint and allowing that beauty to really permeate everything that is being created. It also points to the fact that, God cannot create, it's impossible for God to create anything that is not beautiful. And so that is the same thing for us. We put ourselves in the first person relationship with the divine and realize, that there can only be beauty coming from beauty. So the next thing that brings us into the firmament. And so the Aramaic and Hebrew word actually is rakia, which translates as expanse or firmament or dome. And it suggests a thin, massive, transparent sheet that is stretching out to form a vault over the entire earth. And so, since the firmament acted as a transparent dividing wall to separate the waters, and early Hebrews attributed the blue color of the sky to the chaotic waters. So there was a picture of the waters as we know them, and then on the earth, and then the waters above the earth, which were considered more of a sense of chaotic. And so we have the waters of the sky and the waters of the earth, and this dividing wall between them. And it's interesting, too, that looking at it again through the early Semitic tradition, that this picture of the firmament actually was something that had substance to it. It wasn't just something ethereal. It was something that actually had weight. And that's something else that will be important for us as we begin to move through all of this. So all of this still is very much from a metaphysical standpoint in the invisible realm. And I think that's important to recognize also, that this is still not necessarily something that you can experience with the 5 senses yet at this point. And so this is an invitation as creators to understand how much is actually happening before we see anything happening on the earth. So first we have the darkness, which is the primordial creative energy, and then we have the light, which is the realm of divine ideas, and then we have the firmament. And the firmament really represents the building of our faith. And so even before we see anything happen on the earth, what happens is we begin to create what I call faith muscles. And so we begin to really build that substance. Vanessa de Oliveira says we must trust the invisible to make the impossible possible. And so it's a way of really looking at the firmament in terms of we are beginning to really build something in the invisible that is very real. And for many of us, as we're on the spiritual path, we begin to see sometimes what we experience in the spiritual feels more real than what we can experience with our five senses. So it's really beginning to build on that. So in Hebrews it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I love that word evidence. That really points to the substantiality of what faith is. And then Charles Fillmore says that faith is the perceiving power of the mind that is linked with the power to shape substance. It is situated in the pineal gland according to metaphysical anatomy. So this is actually one of the first powers according to Charles Fillmore. So the question becomes, how do you really create those faith muscles? Like, how do we really deliberately do that? And so one way is through the power of affirmations. And so we're going to do that today. So I'm going to invite you. You should have little pieces of paper and pencils. And if you don't have your little paper and pencil, I invite you to raise your hand so that we can get those. And for this exercise, I'm going to invite you to really move into that place of that divine idea that we have started talking about last week, and really experiencing it in the mind, experiencing it in the heart, experiencing it in the gut. And through there, we're going to create an affirmation that really speaks to that. I've given you an example of a couple of them here. One of them is, I am the architect of love's expression, love's full expression in the world. And the earth sings and vibrates in the fullness of the divine. So you can utilize those, or you can think about what it is that is being revealed to you through that embodiment of the divine idea. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that as we hear John sing a beautiful song that he has written called Just Have Faith.
Would you stand on the edge of a vast divide and not be afraid that you'd fall? Or are you more like the eagle who spreads her wings to soar high above it all? The composer of life doesn't write the notes, she frames the spaces between. Faith is the substance of items desired, the confirmation of things not seen. Other roads you desire to take on your path, but the goal's always just out of sight. Well, perhaps you're the racer through leaps and bounds who advances toward the light. Just have faith, one. Just have faith through the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs. Just have faith. Just have faith, little one. Just have faith. Let your heart be your guide. Enjoy the ride. Just have faith. Just have faith, little one. Just have faith through the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs. Just have faith.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you, your words. You wrote the lyrics.
And so I invite us, I know some of us were busy getting our papers and this, kind of thing. And so what we have down on the piece of paper is an affirmation of our divine idea. And this is something that we can continue to work with during the week. And you can choose one of the affirmations that is up here for your divine idea, or you can, come up with what your own is. But it's really a good something to work with through meditation during the week, is to really go into this three-centered place, of the light consciousness, moving into your heart, moving into your gut, and just really being quiet in the space and allowing this divine idea to come. And the next phase after that is the affirmation. What will you affirm on behalf of this divine idea that is getting ready to be birthed? And so that's what the affirmation is. And so, as I said, that will be continuing to kind of work with you during the week. And the second step, after you have done that, to actually help to build those muscles, is to take a leap of faith. And what that means is that you begin to put your toe in the water of what this might look like. And so if you have the affirmation of I am the architect of love's full expression in the world, what would that look like with that next phone call? How will that impact that? How will it impact what happens when you go to work? Will you be different? How will you walk in to your job? How will you be with everyone? How will you be with your work? How will that impact that differently? And every time you do that, even though it's not really a perfect thing, it begins to give that feedback loop into that faith, and you begin to build even more muscle around that. And so I want to, for us to take a look at a video, which is actually called the Leap of Faith video, which is, from one of my favorite movies of all time.
Impossible. Nobody can jump this.
Indy! And you must hurry! Come quickly!
It's a leap of faith.
You must believe, boy. You must believe.
Yay, Indiana Jones. So we're being invited to become Indiana Jones in terms of really deciding that you're going to really put feet to this affirmation. You're going to really allow it to have a life in the earth. So Antonio Machado says, you walking, your footprints are the road and nothing else. There is no road. Walker, you make the road by walking, and when you look back, you see the path that you will never step on again. Walker, there is no road, only wind trails in the sea. And so we're going to go into a meditation, which actually I'm going to be reading I Am There by James Dillett Freeman. And I invite you just to move into that living space of that, as Indiana Jones, took that very first step where it looked like he was really going to fall into the abyss. And to really affirm the beauty of your own affirmation and how worthy it is of that particular risk. So I invite you to take some deep breaths. Living in the aliveness of your own affirmation. And this is a beautiful poem because it really speaks to a knowingness as you are taking that step, that truly God is here. Do you need me? I am there. You cannot see me, yet I am the light you see by. You cannot hear me, yet I speak through your voice. You cannot feel me, yet I am the power at work in your hands. I am at work though you do not understand my ways. I am at work though you do not recognize my works. I am not strange visions. I am not mysteries. Only in absolute stillness beyond self can you know me as I am, and then but as a feeling and a faith. Yet I am there, yet I hear, yet I answer. When you need me, I am there. Even if you deny me, I am there. Even when you feel most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am there when you pray and when you do not pray. I am in you and you are in me. Only in your mind can you feel separate from me, for only in your mind are the mists of yours and mine. Yet only with your mind can you know me and experience me. Empty your heart of empty fears. When you get yourself out of the way, I am there. You can of yourself do nothing, but I can do all, and I am in all. Though you may not see the good, good is there, for I am there. I am there because I have to be, because I am. Only in me does the world have meaning. Only out of me does the world take form. Only because of me does the world go forward. I am the law on which the movement of the stars and the growth of living cells are founded. Love, that is the law's fulfilling. I am assurance. I am peace. I am oneness. I am the law that you can live by. I am the love that you can cling to. I am your assurance. I am your peace. I am one with you. I am. Though you fail to find me, I do not fail you. Though your faith in me is unsure, my faith in you never wavers, because I know you, because I love you. Beloved, I am there. I invite you to take another deep breath in, knowing that this is the way it really is.
Thank you, Lisa. So I wrote here, maybe this is my affirmation for the week. Alchemy is the process, the substance of creation. Collaboration is how I envision the relationship of my own creative outcomes. So every conversation in this lesson becomes a collaboration. And my task here, as facilitating the offering, is a reminder that we are a collaboration that sustains the ministry and the minister and the celebration of each and every Sunday. John's creative beauty coming forth more and more. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we have an affirmation. You can hold your gift in your hand and we'll say it together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. If you'll bring your gifts to the front, we would gladly accept them, and we'll accept them in the back as well. You can also bring up your pencils and leftover paper if that's... So together, let's bless this offering. Let's bless the incredible abundance that each and every one of us, however it is represented in your life, let's give gratitude for this life, for our relationships, for the health that we have now and the better health that is coming. We are so grateful. Thank you, God. And so it is.
So it is. And so we need to kind of quickly move along into our class. So we have one exciting affirmation I'd like us to say together, if everyone would stand. Repeat after me. I am an unstoppable force.
I am an unstoppable force
Of love in the world.
of love in the world.
And so it is.
So it is.
There's peace on earth and that begins with me. There is peace on earth, peace of which to me. God has provided, and we all know it. Now, every
light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week, beloveds.
Wow.